welcome to another edition of Boxing for Real's Mailbag. Here we are. Don Omega, Iron Truth. Let's go.
All right, these
are the questions from Marcus from Downey.
Yeah, and he's been writing in a lot, so thanks for all these questions. Anyway, first question is, how do you feel Pac-Man and Morales would do if they moved to 135?
I really don't see it being a big difference, and I don't think the weight class really matters for these two. I think you're going to, no matter what happens, it's not going to be because of their weight, really.
I think both of them would be great additions to the weight class, of course. Wherever they go, they're going to fit in perfectly. Morales.
Oh, okay, I thought you meant if they fought there. My mistake. Fought each other there, but anyhow, them fighting each other, I think they do about the same.
Yeah, the same on that. Yeah, I think so too. As far as, well, maybe Morales would feel a little more comfortable. Apparently 130 is getting a little difficult for him to make. Pacquiao seems pretty comfortable at 130, but anyway, Pacquiao could move up in power too. He could increase some power with the move up, which that would be scary. Yeah, because he's powerful now, as we all know. But anyway, Morales and Pacquiao, I would pick them both to beat anybody at 135. I think Morales would be more comfortable. Besides Joel Casamayor, who I could see them both beating, but I would go with Casamayor on a prediction.
Especially with him being a little older in age now. And
Pacquiao still being in his prime completely. So Morales is getting up there too. Well, not really in age, but as far as in boxing terms, age, he is with all the wars he's had.
In career, yes.
Yeah, so anyway, so they would do great at 135 because they're great fighters. So anyway, what are some big fights at welterweight that you would like to see happen? Well, a lot. We saw one this year, of course, with Judah and Mayweather. It didn't go the way we wanted it to.
Mayweather Mosley.
Yeah, Judah Mosley. Mosley Margarito. Judah Margarito.
Mayweather
Margarito.
Sure, he could lose to all of them.
Yeah. And let's. Mosley Cotto, Judah Cotto, Mayweather Cotto.
Throw Josh Clottey in there now. Luis
Collazo, Paul Williams.
But any of these combinations, really.
Yeah, there's a ton of guys there.
I'd love to see it.
Yeah, and
but the top fights would definitely be, like we were saying, Mayweather,
Mosley, Mayweather, Judah, those guys against each other. Judah, Mayweather did fight. Hopefully they can get a rematch someday, and we'll have to see what happens. But also, he writes, who do you guys each list as the top 5 welterweights in the division? So.
I'm not good at my list, of course. Top 5, Mayweather,
of course.
Mosley, Judah about to be right back up there, Baltimore, and Luis Collazo.
Well, going by who I think would beat who, I'm going to say Mayweather because he did beat Judah.
Who would beat who? I won't even put Baltimore.
Mayweather, yeah, exactly. That's my point. But Mayweather, and I'll go with Judah because I do pick Judah over Mosley if they were to fight. Then I'd go with Mosley. Then I would go with Cotto since he is there now, I guess, and then Collazo. Although I could see Collazo beating Cotto, so. Anyway, that's my top 5 there. Baltimore, he's a good fighter, but, you know.
My top 5 is loose after, like, the top 2 or so. I mean, it gets lost 2 or 3.
All of those guys are top fighters, so we'll see what happens. Anyway, then the last question from Marcus is, how do you feel terrible Terry Norris would have matched up with the generation that came after him at Super Welters? Trinidad, Oscar, Shane Mosley, Wright, Vargas, maybe even Mayweather, since Norris was a boxer-puncher with not a great chin.
You kind of answered your own question there, I believe.
Sum that up in one word.
Terribly.
Terrible, absolutely. Yeah. All those guys beat him. He had very good power, of course, but he didn't have the greatest chin, as you mentioned, and he also has some fights here, Norris versus Roy Jones, Norris versus Tony, and Norris versus Bernard Hopkins. Roy Jones and Tony knock him out brutally for sure. Hopkins could possibly maybe not knock him out. He could possibly take him the decision, although I would pick Hopkins to knock him out. I like Terry Norris as a fighter. I like him. I respect him. Just he's not on these guys' level. These guys are all-time greats, every one of them that you've mentioned. So I would pick them all to beat him.
I haven't seen much of Terry Norris, but I'm like, come on.
Yeah, he's just not on their level. I mean, these are all-time greats. So.
There's a reason I haven't gotten around to watching him yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of him, but, from what I've seen, I'm impressed, but, not on this level. So that was it from Marcus. So thank you for your questions, and keep them coming.
Absolutely.
And anyway, don't know who this question comes from.
Yeah, we do.
But,
yeah, we do.
Yep, but anyway.
No, I think it might be from David Somerville, possibly. Whoever it is, thanks for writing it.
He writes.
We obviously care so much since we didn't get your name, but anyhow.
He writes this long thing. I'd just like to say I like your show and keep doing what you're doing. But I don't know how you think Cotto would be able to destroy Gatti. Cotto has been almost knocked out on his feet twice versus guys who have no power, DeMarcus Corley and Ricardo Torres. His last opponents have been speed guys, not power punchers, and when he fights a boxer with a lot of power or halfway decent power, he gets rocked. If he stood toe-to-toe with Gatti, Gatti would be able to beat him. Cotto hasn't fought anyone close to the competition as Hatton or Gatti. He hasn't fought a balanced fight, a guy with good speed and power. Gatti now would probably lose to Cotto, but about 2 or 3 years ago, Gatti for sure by late round KO. Also, Hatton would be able to beat him easily because Cotto wouldn't be able to take his power. And Hatton is a very skilled fighter who would put a lot of pressure on Cotto. I'm sorry I had to move from the lightning coming down to get out of the way of that Hatton is a very skilled fighter part. But anyway, Cotto would destroy Gatti. I really don't get the argument here. Gatti 2 or 3 years ago, you mean the same guy that lost to Mickey Ward 2 or 3 years ago? So Cotto's much better than Mickey Ward by far. Toe-to-toe with Gatti. Cotto is much faster and more accurate. Gatti he overshoots his punches, he throws wider shots. Cotto is a right up the middle fighter. He throws excellent combinations. I mean, he would pick Gatti apart for sure.
It's not even a competitive fight, really.
Absolutely not. You did admit now he would lose to him.
Well, yeah, obviously.
After Baltimore messed him up,
But yeah, even a prime Gatti, I don't see handling Cotto.
Absolutely not. And Cotto and Hatton, as far as that
Cotto's on a totally different level than Gatti. Come on, man.
And Cotto, you said Cotto hasn't fought anyone close to the competition as Hatton or Gatti. I don't know if you mean Cotto hasn't fought anyone as good as Hatton or Gatti, or if he hasn't fought the competition that they have fought. Either way, you're dead wrong on that, because Cotto has fought in much better competition than those two guys. Definitely Hatton, because Hatton's only fought one good fighter in Tszyu. And Gatti, he fought Mayweather, and he fought De La Hoya. He got destroyed, but he did fight him. But anyway, those are the only two top level guys that he's ever fought. Cotto has a very good resume for somebody with so few fights. He's only had 27 fights.
Remember, he's not 40-0
right,
with one name on his list.
Cotto, you can name at least 10 to 12 people that are good that he's
Vitoriano Sosa?
Yeah, he knocked him out, and which Mayweather actually didn't. So DeMarcus Corley, he knocked him out. I mean, you can go on and on. You can look at his record.
Torres turned out to be a better opponent, probably.
And I don't even think I'm counting him when I mention the 10 to 12 people. So, I mean, the list goes on for a while. You can go to BoxRec, look up his record. There's a lot of decent fighters on there. But anyway, Cotto would beat Hatton also.
And keep in mind when he fought them, too.
Yeah, definitely. And Hatton would have a better chance than Gatti, I would say, against Cotto, but I would still pick Cotto to beat him. And Cotto wouldn't have a problem because Hatton goes to the body mainly, more than the face. So Cotto wouldn't have to worry about his chin that much there.
Cotto would knock his shoulders off.
Yeah, like he did to Bronco. So anyway, that's from possibly David Somerville, don't know. Otherwise, it's from Turdzak. But
some interesting questions, though. Anyhow, thank you.
And this one comes from David Somerville, definitely. He writes, "Hello, guys. I really like the show. Who do you pick with De La Hoya versus Trinidad at 154? Keep up the great work."
I don't know. I could see either one winning. That's a good question.
I would go with Trinidad again. I wouldn't pick him by knockout.
I'm gonna go ahead and say De La Hoya. Actually,
De La Hoya.
I think De La Hoya would just do what he did in the first fight, except he wouldn't run the last few rounds.
He did run, and that's why I gave Trinidad the fight. But De La Hoya,
I think, is just the smarter fighter.
Yeah, he's a smarter fighter.
And I think he would have just, at 154, I'm assuming I'm assuming a rematch.
Yeah,
I think De La Hoya would win.
I could see either way, but I would pick Trinidad by decision. De La Hoya lost power when he moved to 154. Trinidad kept increasing his power all the way up to 160. I think that would be the main factor.
Mayorga would argue with that, but okay.
Yeah,
he knocked Mayorga out quicker than Trinidad did, although
that's true.
And Trinidad was at a higher weight when he fought Mayorga, so he should have had more power, and he has more power than De La Hoya anyhow.
Yeah.
Not that really matters, because De La Hoya fought Mayorga afterwards.
Yeah.
And anyhow,
completely different match.
I wouldn't even be going with De La Hoya based on his power anyhow. I just would on his overall ring generalship and skill, just being better overall.
Alright, and this comes from...
But I could definitely see Trinidad beating him, especially if he started landing shots. He can beat pretty much anyone if he starts landing punches effectively.